Hi all, welcome back to more Enemy Action Ardennes, playing the Allied Solo. This is my take two, part 6. Right, so a little bit of time went by and I had hoped to watch part 5 and get it out there as well because a few things came to attention, a couple of mistakes brought to my mind, one which I wouldn't have caught, one which I should have caught. There's a couple that I've noticed myself as well, so I can fix them myself, which is always nice. Like I say, it's always better to notice it yourself. But I didn't notice other ones, and the one that Martin pointed out, I'm not sure I would have caught it at all, to be honest. But hopefully, I'll keep my eyes open for that in the future. Yeah, so I've not watched part 5, and the reason for would I like to have done that is because I don't want mistakes all building up and building up. We can fix these and carry on without any great issue. So first of all, one that I noticed myself, this is from part 3. Now it's a little fiddly, but because I've got the video here. It's when I moved this unit. It's going to be difficult to explain this, but I'm going to put it back and you can try and follow. If I've got it time stamped in the header of the video, the 50-minute 45-second mark. This unit is up here somewhere and it has a choice to come round. It's reinforced battling at the time, is it? Yeah, it's doing a reinforced battle on the unit that's in this hex here. And it comes down and it has a choice of this hex or this hex. And I go with tiebreakers and choose this one because it's more western. However, this one would have been attacking across the river and this one is not. And that takes priority, if you remember, when we look at, what was it, 9.24 tactical adjustments and movement adjacent to allied units. So he would have actually went to 1609 rather than 1710 there, this unit at the time. Okay, and the reason for that is because when he's attacking across this river, you have the strength, the total strength. Hang on, you only have it when you're doing the check though, Grant, don't you? Yeah. When you're doing the German attack determination check, you have it. No, does that not apply when you're attacking, of course, when you're actually doing the attack, that one as well? It's funny, well, it's not funny, also Tim brought up a point. I'm not sure he's that familiar with the game or not, but you've got to remember that the German attack determination is just to check to see if they will go ahead and attack. So there's some things that they do in that to adjust modifiers. There's some modifiers come into it. The unit was in the forest, so it gets a +1 for being in the forest. But then when you come to determine the actual attack odds, you don't then give these modifiers, because the reason it's getting a +1 is because a lot of the chits will have an A1 on, for if you get the forest chit drawn, if the defender's in the forest, he's going to benefit. I'm pretty sure they do get half going across the river though, don't they? When you're actually calculating strength. I'm pretty sure we do. I'm just not sure where to find it. Hang on. Terrain effects. There we go. Yeah. Combat ratios. The strength of units defending a city is doubled. The strength of German units defending a west wall hex is doubled. The total strength of units attacking across a river hex site is half. Round down any fractions to the nearest whole number. So if we had moved that guy into there, when we carried out that attack, he wouldn't have got his full 4 strength. He would have only got half that too. But anyway, the movement method didn't want him to end there anyway, so it wanted him to move in and did 1609. So let me put him to there for the moment and then just put a little cube to where he was, because you can now see, I don't think he can reach there. No, he can't. He can't. So that's got a little bit of a knock-on effect. So I'll finish by saying that this unit let's just assume this unit ends in 1609. I'll fix it in part 6, which I'm doing right now. So he should have finished there, right? I've got another comment on part 3 there. At the 1 hour and 6 minute and 30 second mark, the first hit would be absorbed by the town. I think it was probably the attack in here. I didn't mention it, but units in the town, the first hit that they take is absorbed because of the town. It's the same if they've got an IP. The first hit that they take removes the IP and then it's absorbed. So it's a similar thing. But I don't think I spoke about it there. It didn't make any difference. It's still the same. It was still the same outcome. So let's just check that and talk about it. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'll need to look at that timestamp. That's for part 4. But what I want to do is I want to move this guy on because that didn't affect them activating the next turn. In fact, that's where we're at, isn't it? We're still in the process of them activating. That's where I left things. I think all the units had moved. So, but this guy's move now not, and in actual fact, if we had left Bastogne empty, they wouldn't be able to have entered that. Well, unless it was the 47th unit that activated. But, like I say, I don't think they're going to activate again. But, so this guy would have still moved adjacent to Bastogne. However, because he's 1 hex now further back than where he was, he would move 1, 2, 3, and then, because he can't go up and come in there, which was his preference, 4, 5. The reason that was his preference, I think, is because it's slightly more western than that hex. So I think this is where he would have ended up, rather than here. And that's because of that slight error earlier on. So that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay. So now moving on to part 4, and we've got a couple of mistakes pointed out. One by Ramon, one by Martin. What I just want to check is at the 10-minute mark, right? Well, give me a second. Yeah, actually, this might coincide with the error. Well, let's talk about what I was saying first. Although it might be better to fix the mistake first, man. It's the attack down here in Clairvaux, is it? Clairvaux? And it's the advance after combat stuff. And I think watching back on it myself, I didn't see the mistake. This is the one Ramon picked out for me. I didn't see it, but before I talk about the mistake, I think I was swirling about this crossing the river or not, and I kind of left it in there, kind of hoping somebody might say something, because I started wondering if, and what I'm talking about here is, it's a little chart, isn't it? The advance after combat, Grant. It's that little chart there. It's there. Probably, I know what we just looking over this not that long ago. This little chart here, and it's when they're advancing. Actually, this is relevant to Ramon's pick up on that mistake as well. When I'm deciding on this bunch here, and I'm saying primary or secondary forward route, well, there's a primary route that can advance to, and there's a secondary route that can advance to. There's also an across river and closer to army objective that it can advance to. So there's 3 possible ways of advancing. To be honest, primary or secondary is sort of all one, and then you've got the or across river. So I mean, it's like they're sort of 2. But then you've got the bit across the page that says, if it's advancing a second hex, This is only if it's advancing a second hex, so this must have been the case. And as a choice of advancing the primary or secondary forward direction, choose the hex occupied by the fewer units than the primary direction. So I decided from that, and I'm not sure if that, to be honest, I think this is the one that I did make the mistake in. Yeah, isn't it? And maybe because, here's me trying to get myself out of the hole and get myself out of the mistake. Maybe because of this, I forgot about the fact that, well, let's pick up his timestamp for this. Is it beside? It's at the 14-minute mark. Yeah, so it is. Because of this unit underneath, this guy was in here at the time. Because he's already advanced into here, this guy should roll to see if he advances, and Ramon says it's a 1 to 6, and it is because there's one unit already advanced. There's one unit already advanced into that hex. We're on this box here. It won't automatically advance. I'll go in a 1 to 6. Let's get that die roll out of the way first. And I suppose we're really hoping that this is just going to be a 1 to 6, because it's going to cause grief. But anyway, let's see what we get. Okay, it's good. It is. So that wasn't staged. I would have fixed it. I mean, if it stayed there, it would have meant that these other units might not have advanced. They would have had the row as well. So okay, we got that die roll out of the way. But he was right in saying that because this unit had already advanced. But when I was deciding between these two hexes, and because I just wasn't sure about the whole, that's the primary arrow, that's the secondary arrow. There's already a unit, or no, was it the guy underneath? Yeah, it would have been the first guy that moved in. Sorry, my bad. It would be the first guy. So let's just assume he's still back there, and I know these weren't all in there. The infantry units have came in as well. So it was when deciding between primary, secondary. So I kind of need to answer this one actually, guys. Because this is primary, this is secondary, this is the second hex he's advancing. So it says to use it says to use the hex occupied by the fewer units. So I chose that. But I didn't consider the whole across the river bit. I talked about it and I wasn't sure. I never considered the cross river bit. I decided in the end that because this was the empty hex and this wasn't, I would go there. But maybe this should just be determined by the actual tiebreakers. And the tiebreakers are closer to it's back at 9 something. That's I'm away at the attack. Is it? Yeah, because this is for advance after combat as well. 9 point, what was that again? 9.23? No, 9.22. If more than one destination hex meet the requirements of a given movement method, move to the hex closest to the unit's army objective. Well, between these two hexes, you can see that they're as close. But then, when they're equidistant, move to the hex furthest in the compass direction indicating the marker, then to the northernmost if a choice remains. So that kind of takes priority in the tiebreakers there. And although it doesn't state there that these, I think, does it not tell you somewhere that these apply to reinforce, not to reinforce battle, to advance after combat as well? If more than one destination meets the requirement of a given movement method. It doesn't actually say it there, does it? Hang on, is there a separate thing for advance after combat then? Oh, that was the other thing as well, because I wanted to check that before I spoke about Ramon's point there, but it's going to be the same, isn't it? Because it does say an advance. Oh, I'm jumping over the place now, unfortunately. It says an advance in a given hex enabled. No, not that. If a unit advances second hex, has a choice of hexes to enter, check for the advance in the hex with the highest chance. However, the hex across the river had a unit advanced in it as well, so it still would have been a 1 to 6. that right? Yeah, it would have been. Let me just double check. Oh, well, just as well looked at that. That's a more knock-on effect. Oh, I'll be losing yous now, I think. So this was the one that Ramon picked up on because I didn't roll the dice. I've rolled the dice now. However, it should go into the hex with the least amount of units. Okay? Where does it say that again? Yeah, if it's the primary or secondary, isn't it? Choose the hex occupied by the fewer units. Now, this was a hex because this guy was in here. However, remember, this guy should have been in here. So in actual fact, that guy is going to advance across the river. He would have advanced across the river. It still would have been a 1 to 6 roll when he rolled a 5. And in actual no, I was saying it was that guy, wasn't it? I'm still not sure about that. About the priority. If it's got a bridge, it can advance 2 hexes. Yeah, as long as he's not going into an enemy occupied hex, an enemy controlled hex. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still a little unsure about that. I'm not sure if you're even picking up on what I'm going on about here. It's about the decision between primary, secondary arrows, and looking at the possibility of cross river and closer to army objective. How do you pick between the two? I know how I pick between primary or secondary because there's a bit for it. How does the river bit come into it? Or does that go back to the tiebreakers and just say westernmost? I'm not so sure here. Okay, I'll leave that anyway. So that's that, and that's that's Ramon's one fixed. And in actual fact, yeah, just as well I went back and looked because he wouldn't have been in there because of that previous error. Okay, and then the one Martin picked up on, which this is one I wouldn't have got. Hang on a sec. Alright, so this was the other attack up here, when the Germans pushed the guy down the bottom, 424-106. He was in this hex, right? Yeah, he was in this hex, and we wanted to retreat him twice. We had 3 hits to take. So we knew he was taking a state loss. We knew he was going to retreat twice and be dispersed. Let's look at the video there. Okay. So, for the retreats, you have to retreat in a hex not in enemy control. Now, from here, the only hex that wasn't in enemy control was this one. I'm looking down there. Yeah, sorry, this one or this one. Okay? So then I look at more than one choice. Within any of these priorities, you retreat into any hex regardless of terrain. But there's more to come. However, retreat is allowed across an unbridged river or into a forest hex, not via road, only if no other hex is available in that priority. So I switched off there a little bit, and I wouldn't have caught this. So, but what I do is from there, I decide to retreat into here because, sorry, I never finished that, did I? However, retreat is allowed across an unbridged river or into a forest hex, not via road, only if no other hex is available in that priority. So only if there's no other hex available. The only 2 hexes available are here and here. Both of them are across the river. So I think, fair enough, doesn't matter. They're both going across the river. However, this one's going into the forest and this one's not. So, like Martin correctly points out, if you read the rule, it says, and he says, you quoted the part of 12.7 that says, retreat is allowed across an unbridged river or into a forest hex not via road, only if no hex is available in that priority. Well, you can't avoid a retreat across the river. By retreating it at 1207, you avoid the forest hex. The 1207's there. Excuse me. 1207's there, and I retreat them into there, into the forest. So that guy should have retreated. That's going to be messy. You're a pest as well, Martin. Yeah, was the guy down the bottom, wasn't it? So he was in there. He's going to lose a step loss anyway, so I'll leave that. So he's going to have retreated into there for one. I'm just going to look at the video. And yeah, I can't retreat him now into the forest because then this is where he started from. So this is going to be messy then. Oh, that is a pest. I'm going to have to change. He's obviously advanced after combat in here, I think. Oh, that's a pest. So when he was in 1207, where's my second? My second advance is either into 1208 or into St. Vith. And now this guy's in here, which I'm going to have to change. I wouldn't have wanted to put that guy into St. Vith. I know there's some new information appeared here though, but yeah, I mean, I've got to fix this, so I can't. I'm going to have to change this guy's movement. Whatever he's done is going to have to be different. Because yeah, it's only St. Vith. From there, it's either St. Vith or 1208. I can't move into the forest because, like I say, that's only me retreated one hex. If I move into there, I've only retreated one hex, if you like it. So I need to go here or here. So it would be here. I know that's going to mess things about even more. So he's going to be dispersed. And that 6116 is going to have to move somewhere else. I'm going to put him there just now. Because I'm not always sure. Obviously, this is back in part 4. And I ran another part. Now, what about the advance after combat then of these units? Would that have been any different? Let me look on and see. I actually think I'm going to be... I know you can maybe hear me in the background speaking there, but these two, I want to say they didn't advance, did they? But this guy looks like he has, so hang on. Yeah, so neither of these guys advance because it's not really a sensible hex for them to move into. They're adjacent. It makes sense if you look at it, moving into the forest where they're adjacent to a bridge crossing the river. Unfortunately, this guy must move. Yeah, I must move him here and then here, and that's going to be deviating. So does that mean he goes there then, maybe? Right, let me look on and see. So just moving him back to there. This was the hex where the combat took place, and the unit retreated into here and then into here, right? Right, so he's not got arrows to check for. He's not moving across the river closer to his objective. He's not in a VPS. It's not enabling supply. He is, however, going closer to his army objective, which is the second row down. So he needs, and there's not unit already advanced in there, so he needs a 1 to 7 roll. We roll a 6. So he does advance into here. And like I say, unfortunately, the next one is he advances into here, and I think that's now going to change because that is deviating from the path of retreat, and he can't cross that river. So let me just watch on. Yeah, okay, so I get the feeling this guy might not advance any further then, because I get myself a bit muddled up here thinking, how can he cross the river anyway? He's already advanced 1 hex, but it seems to be that that's okay in the rules, as long as he's following the path of retreat. So, well, what? And I maybe skip by this a little bit, because once he's advanced 1 hex, we need to check this table again. Now, is he going to be in his primary or secondary forward route? Well, no. There's no forward arrows in that hex that he's in. Now, is he going to move across the river and closer to his army objective? Well, with the initial move, yes, he would, and it would be an automatic advance. And that's what I decided to do, because there's his army objective, so he would move his second X, and he's not deviating from the path of retreat at that time, because that unit, I moved that unit in there, which he shouldn't have moved into there. So let's get this guy back and look at the table again. You can't forward primary or secondary forward route. Now, if he goes across the river and follows the path of retreat, is he going to get closer to his army objective? Well, this time it's no, because you can see that him moving from there to there is getting closer. Him moving from there to there is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If he's there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is not, it's not deviating from the path of retreat, but it's also not getting closer. So would he be moving into VP hex? Yeah, because he can't. I mean, he could move across the river and closer to his army objective, but he would be deviating from the path of retreat, and he's not allowed to do that. Right. So the second, and he's not VP hex, and it's not enabling supply. Is it into a town? No. Is it closer to his army objective? Well, no, we've just decided that. Now, hold on. No, because he can't move across the... And then the other one's other routes, so he's not going to advance. No, he's not going to advance. Because he's three possible advance hexes. Remember, he started here. He's advancing to there. He can advance here, here, or here. This one's deviating from path of retreat, crossing the river. Can't do that. This one's deviating from a path of retreat, cross the river. Can't do that. This one's not deviating from the path of retreat, so he can do it. However, he's not getting close to his army objective, so he's not going to do it. It's not in a town. It's not in his primary direction. He's not going to do it. So he's going to have ended there. So, okay. That might have... Now, the problem is now, I'm going to have to go back now and look at how these guys make their move. I'm going to have to watch this back now as well. I think this guy's fine. He's going to be still here. Because his move was... Movement method 3 or 4, is it? 3, I think. Movement methods. That's just going back to 9, isn't it? Is it? Was it move to a hex, both closer to unit's army objective and adjacent to... Oh, Grant. He might not be making that move. Oh, even more trouble. Because it was closer to... I don't know if he's getting closer... Because where... Well, hang on, he was there. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's there, 1, 2... Oh, no, he's not going to make that move either. See that? What a knock-on effects. I think I'm going to have to reset the movement of the 58th. That could just mean you redo part 5 then. Really. Well... That's a mess. Thing is, I can't really go back and redo part 5 because this is part 6 that I'm doing. So, you know, we've drawn all the cards. We've maybe set some... no, we didn't do any of that, I don't think. So, I guess I can just put a comment in the header, part 5, saying that once we activate the 58 core, things are going to be a little different because of these glitches. But to find out, I'm going to have to move the units back and try and move them properly again. Okay, so I'm going to put the 58 core units back to where they should have been. I say should have been because obviously this guy was not in here, he was in here. So let's put him back to there. Did we roll in that? No, he hadn't advanced though. That was fine, yeah, he reinforced the battle. And these other ones, well, I'm not sure where they're at, to be honest. Let me try and get the input back as well then. Okay, I was a little confused to where this guy was. So this was the next one that I moved. He's selector number 2. And unfortunately, yeah, I mean, this is going to change because he moved up adjacent to St. Vith. Whether I might still move into there, I don't know. But he was in here, and I thought, why was he in here? But if you recall, he was the guy that was underneath that reinforced the battle with these guys. So he was in here to start with. So I'm moving him back, and we'll just need to see what he's going to do now with the correct positioning of that allied unit there, obviously. And I don't think this would make any difference, but remember, this is now not across the river as well. So, and then the other 2 guys, oh no, there's 3 of them. Right, let's just double check. They're down here somewhere, I think. Yeah, let me just watch on. Right, to be honest, it's the 4-3 infantry unit that is in here. So he must have went 1, 2, 3 like that. So he might well do the same. We shall see. And then the other 2 were in this hex, I think. It's difficult to see. We've got the 3-5 on top, so I think the 2-5's underneath. So I think both of these must have been here, like this. Yeah. Pretty sure that's right. I'll just watch on a little more to make sure I've got that right. Right, yeah, they 2 guys were there. And just watching back, this is the bit where I start bringing into this whole thing about moving adjacent to allied units about, was it 9.24, isn't it? The tactical adjustments, because I think this guy goes up to here. I mean, I know he can't go there now, and then this guy wants to go to there as well, but then they're moving adjacent to allied units, and there would be 2 units in the same hex. They want to go to an empty hex, and I think he ends up down here instead, something like that. I did without, well, you'll see that in part 5 before you watch this, I suppose. So you can, I don't know, you can let me know what you think about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It can adjust the unit. I did come across, I think I left a bit in the part, it might have been the last part as well, part 5, maybe just nudging Martin to let me know if there's any things that I should be looking at that had got brought up from my last playthrough. And I noticed a lot of communication I just directly put to Martin with private messaging over BGG, and there's quite a lot there that I was asking about, and he did get quite a bit of feedback from Mr. Butterfield, on the hotline and that. So I probably should have that stuff. In fact, I think I've got the thread of it open on my computer to go and look at it, maybe when I'm scratching my head at times, but I dare say some of these things are going to show up again, because I'm not quite sure Mr. Butterfield put any of that down as in an official addenda or errata, if you like. I could be wrong with that though, and please tell me if I'm wrong with that, Martin, if it is written somewhere, any of the stuff that came up. But I'm not sure if this is any of the ones that was, but there was quite a few bits. I think I want to feel like we spent a lot of time in 9.24, and yeah, tactical adjustments when moving adjacent to allied units. And I want to say enemy action Kharkov, it happened to be the rule for it was 9.25, I want to say, because that seems to stick with me a bit. So I must have just nudged on one number, and then it was even bigger in that game, I think, because there was a lot more that you had to check. It was better set out. Remember, it was all bulleted, priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you went down. I thought it was so much more well done, but it still needed questions answered, I think. But yeah, it's a complex affair, this, so questions are going to need to be answered. Okay, so I'm going to go back and now I'm going to move these 58 core units. Okay, so with movement method, going right back to the start, that's selector number 1. We've got a 2, a 3, a 4, and it could be a 5. That's a 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we don't look at them in that order as the wrong bit. You only look at them in that order once you get movement methods 10 to 13. So you're checking them in the movement method order first. So we're looking at movement method 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And the selector number will depend on what movement method you're looking at. So I'll just swing across here. You can see that there's the special moves for 1. A is exit the map in ascending order. That's in ascending order. That's in descending order. So you've got to watch, you check every unit within that movement method and whatever. So nobody can exit the map. Nobody can move adjacent to the muse. Nobody can enter an empty allied VP hex. This is the one that Unit 1 could have done, and we've just realised that I don't think he can. Hey, well, actually, he maybe will head up to Veal Sam now. So, well, let's look at move to a hex both closer to Unit's army objective and adjacent to allied VP hex. So, when he was wrongly placed here, you can see he was 1, 2, 3, 4 away from that, right? And if he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he was then 1, 2, 3 away from that. But that's not where he should have been. He should have been here. So now, if he does move adjacent to this, the only hex he can get adjacent, he can't get into that hex adjacent, or that one. Because this is 1, it would be 2 into the broken here, but he can go down the road then. He can go 1, 2, 3, but you can see 4, 5. He needs 6 to get to there, and then he's closer. So he can get adjacent by going there, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, even from there to there, he can't do it. 4, 5 into there, and then he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. Whereas he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away just now. So he's not going to move. Well, he's not going to move with movement method 2. He's not going to move closer to that VP hex, and closer to his objective. However, he probably can move closer by moving adjacent to Veal Sam, which is also bad. In fact, you know what? This might be worse when I think about it. Because at least it was moving adjacent to Baston. We've got two armoured units in there. We've got a roadblock in Veal Sam. So I think this might end up being worse, but yeah, well, we'll see. So and just checking movement method 2, it does go look at the units in ascending order. So we are going to look at unit 1 first, because it's quite possible unit 2 or 3 could maybe, I don't think they can reach Veal Sam, but I think they were looking at St. Vith, weren't they? So, but we do look at this guy first. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. Can he get, I mean, he clearly can. These are all dispersed. Admittedly, his first move is into broken, so it's going to be 2. In actual fact, it might only be that hex he can reach. No. I mean, that's 1, but that's then 2 as well. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can reach there. I brought some other cubes around. These ones aren't. I couldn't find the yellow ones that I used to have, but I maybe used some of these before as well. I'm always worried where these come from, what game they've come from, because when I go and break that game out, these cubes are not going to be in it. So I want to say this, it might be Colonial Twilight, the coin game. There was light blue and dark blue cubes in that, and some green cubes. We'll see. Well, I think that's only 1, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. And he can't, well, he wouldn't be getting close to his army objective if he could get adjacent to St. Vith anyway. Not that he can, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is the only one he can reach. But however, you will notice that it's only 1, 2, 3 away, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So I think that's where he's going. Move the hex post closer to its army objective and adjacent to Allied VP hex. And yeah, and he's not moving adjacent to German an Allied unit, so we don't need to consider 9.24. Oops, my fault. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. He was 4 away, now he's 3 away. So that works. So then, can we check movement method 2 for any other guys? Well, we can have a look. So unit selector number 2 here. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if he does get adjacent, I mean, he can't get to Vilsam or anywhere. The only place he could maybe get to is St. Vith. And I want to say that's 6 away as well, though, isn't it? 3, 4, 5, 6. There it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that hex is not any good. He ends up going here. And now that's why I felt a little bit bad about that fix. But like Martin pointed out, that's where, I mean, yeah, then again, I could have moved the guy into St. Vith. But I feel like, it feels to me that a dispersed unit in St. Vith is worse than a roadblock. Please tell me if I've got that wrong, but so that was my thinking of it. And if, you know, I know that these had to go back and whatever, and I know there was a German unit that had moved here, but you can see I was doing it in a way that I didn't want to retreat in St. Vith, because I feel like that's worse, because the roadblock comes away. So yeah, that's, well, I know what I'm trying to say there. I'm not trying to pull a fast one, even though it looks like it's going to stop that unit from doing that. There is a chance it might do something worse, like what this one looks like it might have done. So he can't get closer to his army objective and adjacent to an Allied VP hex. No, because that's not closer, and he can't get around to this hex. So no. Unit 3 will be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's the same. He can't, that's the only, I don't even know, well, maybe he could get there, but again, he's not. And then Unit 4. Now, Unit 4, no, because he can't reach there. He could reach there, and I don't think that's closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's 7 away. If he's there, oh, that's not adjacent anyway, Grant. I'm looking at the unit now. Yeah, he can't either. And then Unit 5's underneath. He's the same as Unit 3, so no. I'm nudging these guys down here beside this bridge again. Get the feeling this happened to me in the previous playthrough actually, so it must be something that just, you can see I'm stretching across this bit, and if I lean my arm down a little bit, I'm going to catch it. Okay, so we're not moving with movement method 2 for any of these guys. Movement method 3 is cause surround, and this is done in descending order. Well, actually, no, I'm not so sure we can surround any of the guys, can we? I thought this one might have been, but I mean, this one I can't exert control into there. I can exert control into there, but not there. And this one, we've got zone of control here and here. I could exert zone of control into there, but I can't also exert zone of control into there or there. at the moment. Remember, it's talking about each individual unit, this. It doesn't sort of say, can you surround them by moving this guy up here and that guy there. You know, that would be, yes, nice and easy. You could do that. And maybe something you would possibly do, you know, if you were playing as the Germans right now, you would maybe say, right, let's get this guy surrounded, you know, let's move that guy into there and something else into there, and then that's him surrounded, you know. It's not saying that just now. Now, it might be after this first move. No, that doesn't work that way as well, because we check these movement methods individually. So this is movement method 3. If we go past movement method 3, we don't come back to it. The only ones you come back to are 10 to 13. They're checked each individual unit. Okay, so there's no causing us around then. Are you sure, Grant? I think so, because even this guy here, although this guy's got control here, I can't exert zone of control into there, so. And coming down here, the nearest unit to try and surround would be here, but I'd basically need to get a unit into here, and that's not possible either. So no. Open supply line only starts on the 19th. Right, movement methods 5 to 9 are only for the infantry, so it's just this guy we're looking at for this. Method 5 is move adjacent to allied VP hex. Well, no, we can't do that. We already checked. Enter an empty town. No. Move adjacent to allied unit or town. Right, I get the feeling this is maybe what he moved with before, actually. So infantry move adjacent to allied unit or town to which no non-bracket German infantry unit is adjacent. So he can go 1, 2, 3. He can get adjacent to this guy. I think that's it. Yeah. So he can get adjacent to this guy, but he can get adjacent by going 1, 2, 3 into there, or 1, 2, 3 into there as well. Yeah, because there's no non-bracketed German infantry unit adjacent to them. 1, 2. Oh, hang on. No, into the woods. Is it just? No, it's 2 for them, isn't it? That's not woods, Grant. What is that? Yeah, that is woods. Sorry, I mixed up with my woods and my fault. That is just one movement for them. So hang on a minute. Actual fact, it does look like he can get adjacent to that guy. And there's not a non-bracketed infantry unit. Remember, it's infantry unit adjacent to him. So it's 1 in the woods, 1 in the broken, and then 1 in the forest but down the road. So that's 3. He can move into there as well. 1, that's not a road, is it? So yeah, so it's 2 for him to move into a forest. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So, well, then he's got the river anyway. So there's these 3 possible moves. Okay, that's his 3 possible moves. So he's going to move to one of these hexes. Well, again, and then with the adjustments and all that, I hope I'm getting that right. That's why I really wanted part 5 out there. I really do. I really need to watch that and get that out there, because if I'm getting that wrong with the whole tactical adjustment bit, then I might need to start again. I don't want to do that. Yeah, and if he was already the only non-bracket German infantry unit adjacent to an allied town or unit, they would not move, and his movement would be considered complete. Right, so he's going to move to one of the 3, and then we'll look at tiebreakers first, then we would check 9.24. That's my way of looking at it. So more than one destination closest to the unit's army objective. Well, this is clearly not close. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So that takes priority. So that's a tiebreaker done. Now, but 9.24 is not going to intervene here, is it? Because it's a tactical adjustment when moving adjacent to an allied unit. So he moves 1, 2, 3 into there, and he's came from there, just in case. He's going to prefer an unoccupied hex, prefer adjacent hex, not across the river. Neither of them are that, so he's going to move there. That's it. Done. He's done. Okay, good stuff. Right, now there's no point looking at any more movement method 5 to 9 because the other units are all mechanised, not infantry. So we'll now move on to movement methods 10 to 13. So now we look at them in ascending order and go right through the 4 methods. So 2, movement arrows. Probably not, but he can go 1 and then 2, and then he's either going into there or there. Remember, these don't exert control, so if he was to go up another way, it would be. But he's going to spend only 2 of his 5 movement to go there, so that's not any good. He's not going to do that. Movement method 11, move closer to army objective. And then this is the one he moves adjacent to. If more than one hex is closer to the objective, move to a hex adjacent to an allied unit. Again, switch. The moving unit has a combat strength of actually at least 3 to 1, and then you take reserves and active on-map units into consider. Active on-map units are approximate. Is that another one that checks? Code to calculation. Yeah, German units that are adjacent, reserve units that are active, and then active units that are proximate. Okay. So, and he's got to be moving closer to his army objective. Okay. Well, it's these 2 guys here, aren't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if he went in there, we'll decide that's not closer, is it? Because that would be adjacent to St. Bath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're ruling this guy out. We're moving adjacent to one of these. Well, I'm saying that. Remember, the priority here is move to hex closer to his army objective. So, I mean, in actual fact, he could go 1 across the river here, 2 into the broken, that's 3, 4 into that clear hex. You can't go any further than that. That might be where he goes, to be honest. 1, that's broken at 2, 3, 4. I mean, he could go into there or there, and he's getting close to his army objective. But remember, if there's more than one hex, he's moved to a hex adjacent to an allied unit against which the moving unit has a combat strength of actually 3 to 1. This guy's got a strength of 2 and is dispersed. We're not looking at that yet though, so we need a strength of 6, but you can see this is already adjacent 4, so that would be, yeah, so that hex is ruled out. He could also move here though, and he's getting closer and he's adjacent to that. So, you're saying that. I mean, yes, he could move here, but remember, when it comes to tactically adjusting, one, 2, 3, 4. He can actually go in here as well, though, Grant, can't he? 1, 2, 3 into broken, 4 into clear, up the road, 5. But again, yeah, I'm eventually going to get around to doing this a bit smoother, hopefully. Yeah, right, Grant. So, there are options for them, right? And these are all given at least 3 to 1 odds because there's other units don't move here, I think. I'm pretty sure they are. So if no hex or more than one hex offers a 3 to 1 advantage, move to the hex closest to the objective. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. So it looks like these two tiebreakers, closest to, and then compass direction. That would be there then. Yeah, there's no talk of surrounding the unit here, is there? No, and then 9.24, well, it's unoccupied hex. It's not across a river. Yeah, so I think that's where it goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, he's dispersed, not exerting zone of control. So he goes in there, I think. Well, yeah, you never feel 100% comfortable with these. Okay, so selector number 3 next. Yeah, 4 done his hand because he was infantry. Yeah, okay, done an airway movement method. So 3 arrows. Well, actually, he goes up 1, 2, 3, but then he stops. Yeah, so both 3 and 5 selector numbers cannot move with their arrows. So again, it's movement method 11 for selector number 3. Cossar. I mean, I've just took all the cubes away, which actually they were in. No, he was in here, so they're one. Well, he's not really, is he? No, was he? No, he was in here, wasn't he? Yeah. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go there. Too many. You could possibly. Is there still a 3-to-1 advantage? Yeah, I want to say this guy's only got strength of 1, isn't he? Yeah. So in actual fact, that unit alone, which is probably something you might try. Mind you, you're not going to get many combat chits. 1, 2, 3, and then go for that guy. But the choice of this hex or this hex, still getting 3-to-1 advantage. Remember, it says the hex closest to the objective, which is this one. And again, doesn't need to tactically adjust. Yeah, I'm just looking down there. I mean, there's a unit down here, but he can't get adjusted to that, and it's not close to his army objective, so doesn't need to adjust. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's him done. And then right, so he was in the same hex, so you would think he would go here. Well, in actual fact, he would go here with that movement method. But he would then tactically adjust to go here, I believe. So he's got multiple hexes that are offering a 3-to-1 advantage that are getting him closer to his objective. So he picks the one closest to the objective, which is where this where this guy moved. 1, 2, 3. Did that? Oh no, there he's there. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where he would want to go. And then tactical adjustments come in and say, can you find an unoccupied hex that's adjacent to that unit? And we say yes, there is one into there. Can't get right round to there, so that's the only unoccupied hex. Okay. Good. Fixed. Sorted, hopefully. Yeah, and we've still not drawn a combat chit. What am I at? 59 minutes. Great. Is there going to be... There's only going to be one attack. Can you not just take it on then, Grant? Or should I leave it to the next? But I'm still a little worried that I'd like to watch back part 5 and get it out there just in case. If I do that, at least I can still fix things. And I'm at an hour there anyway, so yeah, I think I'll leave it. Sorry, I know it's a bit that was all just pretty much just fixing things, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, that's how it goes in Grant's world sometimes. Just fixing things. Right. Yeah, so just basically I'm just leaving things there as we started this part. As you came into this part to start watching it, that's where I've left things at the end of the last part, because all I've done is move the units again, haven't I? And we did check, we checked the event for bridge engineers, didn't we? Hopefully that wasn't going to have changed anything. No, it wouldn't have, surely. It wouldn't have. No, it would have been fine. So that's all we've been sitting there. We would have been activating all units in the core. We've moved them. We're now going to check to see if they're going to attack. Looks like they're going to... Well, I suppose this guy could be looked up from him. No, I think they're all going to go on him, to be honest. And none of this looks good to me. I can't recall how things started when I played that first playthrough. And then I started watching a little bit of it back just to get myself into the... see what it was like, whatever. But I never watched that much, so I don't know how I ended up doing. But this certainly doesn't look good at all. I mean, the 58 core units around the back, and if they're across the river, and I know that'll probably be all these guys moved this turn, but we need to shore things up, really. I mean, and I'm not going to get to put anything in Ville Sam because he's adjacent to it. We do have the road boat, but you know, there's other victory towns up here that we need to protect. If we're going to lose Ville Sam, it's only a 2 in it. If I'm going to lose that, I mean, I need to protect the other ones. Right, okay, I will leave it for now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll be back when I'm back. Okay, cheers.